Let me ask you something. What does it actually mean when an AI model beats human performance? Not on a trivia test, not on a multiple choice exam. On a benchmark that measures whether it can sit down at a computer, look at the screen, and get things done the same way you do. Because that just happened. OpenAI launched GPT-5.4 this week, and buried inside the announcement is something that I think most people are going to walk right past. This model scored 75% on OSWorld. The human baseline on that same benchmark is 72.4%. AI just beat us at using a computer. Now, before we go full apocalypse mode, let's actually talk about what this means, because it's more interesting and more complicated than the headline suggests. OSWorld is a benchmark that tests whether an AI can navigate a real desktop environment. We're talking screenshots, keyboard inputs, mouse clicks, tasks like open this file, find this information, fill in this form, send this email. Things a competent human assistant would do without thinking. GPT 5.4 does them better. What's significant here isn't just the score. It's that this is the first time OpenAI has baked computer use natively into a mainline flagship model. Previous versions could browse the web with plugins, could use tools, could write code. But this is the model itself reaching out and controlling a computer as a first-class capability. Not a bolt-on, not a preview feature, native. So what else did they ship? The context window is now 1 million tokens. To put that in perspective, the complete works of Shakespeare are about 900,000 words. You could feed this model the entire collected output of one of history's greatest writers and still have room left over. In practical terms, this means you can dump an entire code base, an entire legal document archive, an entire research library into a single conversation and work with it in one shot. No chunking, no losing context halfway through. On the coding side, 57.7% on SWE Bench Pro. That's frontier-level performance for real-world software engineering tasks. Not toy problems, actual GitHub issues from actual repositories. On knowledge work, 83% on GDP-Val. That benchmark measures performance on graduate-level professional tasks across law, medicine, finance, and research. And the price? $2.50 per million input tokens, $15 per million output tokens. Let that sit for a second. You're getting a model that outperforms humans at desktop automation, handles 1 million tokens of context, codes at a near-professional level, and thinks through complex professional problems for $2.50 per million tokens. Now here's the part I want you to actually think about, because this is where it starts to matter for people who aren't AI researchers. The shift from AI as chatbot to AI as coworker is happening right now. Not in 5 years, not in the next model cycle. Now. When a model can sit at a computer, understand the screen, and take actions, that model can do your job. Not your whole job, not every part of it, but the parts that involve navigating software, pulling information, filling out forms, running processes, those parts are now on the table. For some people, that's terrifying. For others, it's the most powerful productivity lever they've ever seen. The honest answer is, it's both. And which one it is for you depends entirely on whether you figure out how to use it before someone else does. One thing worth flagging, GPT 5.4 also has 5-level reasoning effort control. You can dial up or down how hard the model thinks depending on what you need. Simple task? Fast, cheap inference. Complex multi-step problem? Full reasoning effort. That's a level of control we haven't had before, and it changes how you'd build workflows around this. The model is rolling out across ChatGPT and the API now. So where does this leave things? GPT 5.4 is a meaningful step, not a gimmick release. The computer use score alone makes it a serious contender for any workflow involving desktop automation. The context window alone changes what's possible in long document analysis. The combination of both, at this price point, makes it one of the most practically capable models available right now. The question isn't whether this matters. It does. The question is what you do about it. Stay sharp.